Hi there. Welcome again to our morning conversation with Trinity Lutheran Church. And we're talking this week about Jeremiah and his call. And during his call, God makes a promise to him. And God says that he is going to write the law of God upon our hearts. And so we're sharing stories this week about a number of things. And one of those things is things that we as people of God might believe really, really deeply. And we're going to, talk about this as individuals. And I have a wonderful individual here with me. I have Joni McCrady. Hi, Joni.
Hi, Mike.
We've only known each other a couple years.
Just a few.
Just a few. Do you remember how long you've actually been a member at Trinity?
Almost 30.
Almost 30. Okay.
hmm
And you're only 23. I don't understand.
Exactly. I don't know how that just doesn't work, does it?
Yeah, I don't know. Joni and her husband Gary have a great family. Eric, who serves at the Lancaster Police Force, right? He's a detective
That's
now,
correct.
right?
Actually, he just got promoted. He's a sergeant.
Wow,
He's
fantastic.
out in the streets again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Jordan, who I've had the pleasure of working with a couple of times in theater, is just awesome kid. She's not a kid anymore. I know she would tell me that. Joni, you have a wonderful background in nursing and have been a great asset to our congregation as a council member and done a lot of stuff for us. And I know you have a really cool story to share, so I want to let you do that.
My whole nursing career has been in women's health, primarily labor and delivery and infertility. As I was working with women in these two fields, I realized that there is so much grief that these women experience. Not only, pregnancy loss, but also the loss of fertility.
Mm-hmm.
And in working with these women, I realized that helping women through these issues has become a real passion of mine. And while I was at Hershey, I actually helped set up the whole bereavement program in women's health at Hershey. A burial program, helped set up the infant loss support groups. And I spent a lot of time with these women, working with them, not only through the labor and delivery experience and helping them, work through the loss of their children, but also as they were moving down the road and trying to recuperate, trying to deal with the grief, trying to deal with the loss. As I shared with Mike, it's really hard as a Christian not to, or to help other people work through this whole grief process without sharing my own experiences. And, because I don't know how I would handle any kind of loss without my faith to fall back on. So as we had talked, I'm losing my train of thought. I'm so sorry.
Well, I think what you're saying is how important your faith has been, and that deep faith that God has given you inside helped you to find a way to speak to these women who are going through such horrible things. And I know, Joni, that's one of the things I really admire about you is that you not only have a passion for this, but you don't have any fear about it. And it's funny, as you were talking, I kind of thought of the Mr. Rogers movie that Tom Hanks did a little while ago, which actually is a great movie, by the way.
I
But,
saw that.
yeah, and Mr. Rogers was a minister. People don't realize that sometimes. He was an ordained minister, and he would help people all the time. But one of the things he said is, death is something we can talk about. And if we can talk about it, we can manage it. And what you were sharing with me a little earlier, I don't know if you're comfortable going in this direction, but you talk about how helping people deal with and talk about scary things like mortality and loss ended up helping you.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was sharing with Mike about 3 years ago. Well, it was 3.5 years ago. I was diagnosed with stage 3 melanoma.
Mhm.
And of course, you know, being a nurse, I know way too much about all of that. And as you can imagine, Gary and I were absolutely devastated, as were the kids. And I was able to use the information and everything that I had learned working with these women that had experienced pregnancy loss, that had gone through bereavement issues. I was able to use that gift that I gave them actually for myself.
Mm,
And as I shared with Mike, initially we were devastated,
right.
but I was able to, um, I prayed that God would walk with me no matter what the path would be, rather than, of course, I prayed for healing, but more than anything, I prayed that He would just walk with me and be with my family. And, that showed God's love to me, and more than anything else, at a terrible time. You always hear you feel so close to God when things are going wonderful, when everything's good, you
Mhm.
know. But even in that terrible time, I knew that He was with me the whole time.
That's amazing and awesome, and talk about having the love of God written on your heart. That's awesome. And I think we sometimes forget that by living our faith for others, we strengthen ourselves. And when our rough patch comes, the fact that we've lived for others helps us. And we all have the rough patches. I mean, that's going to happen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Joni, that's a beautiful story. I thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for letting me talk to you, Mike. I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I hope everybody, take that to heart. Okay. Live your faith for others and realize that you're also going to be helping not only the world, but yourself. Hey, have a great day. Okay.
Thanks, you too.
All right.
Bye bye.
See you, everybody. Bye bye.